Bazarevich and Babkov. Russia 100%, of course, going into this final quarter-final and already guaranteed a place in the semi. But what a task they have here up against the dream team, the USA. There's their starting lineup: Kemp, Miller, Coleman, Johnson and Joe Dumas. Dumas, who hardly played against Puerto Rico, in fact didn't get on at all, but now is going to have a crucial part in Don Nelson's side against Russia. Roy Birch alongside me.
Yeah, I think the Russians will be out on court tonight just to have a good time. They know that this is not the final, and they'll have half a mind on getting to that final. But Croatia stand in the way. Interesting lineup in this game for the Russians. They've not put a recognised centre in there. 3 forwards and 2 guards.
So Russia, who've won a medal every year at the World Championships since 1963, a medal of some description, 8 championships, and world gold medals in 67, 74 and 82. USA gold medals in 54 in Rio and in 86 in Spain. Only the bronze, though, last time in Argentina, but a very different look side this time, of course. So the dream team out there. No one's got within 15 points of them. Spain were the nearest, 115 to 100 in the opening game. After that, the margins have been 55 against China, 33 against Brazil, 56 against Australia, and 51 against Puerto Rico.
Some pretty serious-looking Americans out there. Kevin Johnson just making sure everybody knows what their role will be.
And of course, whenever they take on Russia, just a little bit more of an edge. All memories of that 72 final in Munich. So the dream team in white, Russia in blue. Kevin Johnson to Dumas. Coleman is 6. Reggie Miller, top scorer for the US throughout this tournament, is 11. He's 10 rather. And the first move, and a good one it was too, from Sergei Bazarevich. Johnson with the original shot. Kemp trying to pick up the garbage.
I make that 5 games out of 6 now, Simon, where the Americans have trailed 2-0. And not a particularly auspicious start from the dream team. But what a block there from Derek Coleman. Ball just out of bounds, so possession United States.
There he is, Coleman. Comes up here from the New Jersey Nets and just bashes that away. And here's Reggie Miller. Just hasn't got the shooting touch quite at the moment. Nice move in from Babcock. A miss from Mikhailov. Here's Dumas. And Dumas gets the 2 and the bonus.
Yeah, the Russians squandered 2 pretty easy points there, and perhaps thinking that Coleman was coming to block the shot, and here's Dumas at the other end, penetrating. But at the moment, Reggie Miller not shooting that well. And the difference between this match and other matches, I think, is that the defenders are fighting through screens, and Reggie Miller's had a hand in his face on both 3-pointers he's taken so far.
Don Nelson there didn't play Dumas in the last game against Puerto Rico, just wanted to rest him, and obviously had plans for him against the Russians. Coleman again, brilliant stuff, but a mismove. But he's got his timing perfection at the moment.
Yeah, I think the Russians have got to learn quickly from that, and possibly even a pull-up jump shot may serve them a little better than a straightforward layup.
And that time Mikhailov gets it over Coleman, and Russia lead. Kevin Johnson. Here's Miller. Kemp. And an easy fake and an easy three. Well, over 853 pointers in his career already, Reggie Miller. Dumas. Well, they didn't protect that little jumper.
Yeah, the Americans having a lot more success just in open play. If they're having to play a half-court game, then the Russian defense is set, and they've always got a hand in their face. But in open play, like now, for instance, here we go, the Americans on a 3-2 break, and that's why they score. It's the open jump shot.
Well, Coleman's had a terrific start. And again, hustling away and gets it over two of the Greek defenders, Mikhailov and Fedizov, who should really look at each other there. And Sergei Betlov called a timeout, not surprisingly, after a rather quiet start, the USA clicking into action. Here's Reggie Miller with the three. But the score, after trailing 4-3, they now lead 10 points to 4.
And the man of the first 3 minutes, Derek Coleman, he's prepared to lose a bit of skin from his knees, diving on the floor for a loose ball, and then fighting and scrapping for the rebound as well. And he's made 2 good blocks. Yep, 5-second call. That's super denial defense from the Americans. Bazarevic had nowhere to pass to.
And we're going to see an awful lot more of that next season.
That's right, the new rule in international basketball, end line ball if it goes off end line. So we'll see a lot of denial defense.
That's the last thing the Russians needed at that particular juncture. Kevin Johnson. Sergei Babkov. Fedizov hustling through and gets the foul against Coleman, I think.
Slightly off-putting. There's some lunatic in the crowd with a whistle, and just occasionally the players just stop because they hear something coming from the crowd, and really the commissioner should stop the game and get rid of that guy in the crowd. Another block shot, this time from Sean Kemp. Deposits the ball in the 4th row of the bleachers.
Brilliant timing. Babkov. Nice move. That's their best move inside. That's what they want to try and do, is get it inside. They're not a great outside shooting team. Mikhailov finishing it off there.
Yeah, the Russians have to be patient. Have to get a man free off a pick for an open shot.
Well, Coleman missing it originally, but doesn't he make up for it? Good pass in from Dumas. And at the moment, the Russians can't defend them.
Yeah, no help there for Sean Kemp, and Bazarevic went all the way to the basket. Here's a replay of that last Coleman hang on the ring. And Kisurin is on the foul line.
Second year on the national team, 25 years old now. Rather nervous first free throw. Plays in Italy for Udine, and played in the Junior Europeans some 6 years ago. Plenty of merchandise going on around the stadium here. Most of it, of course, affiliated to the Dream Team themselves. Miller dumps off to Coleman. And that's a big, big three-pointer. What a start he's had.
Well, Derek Coleman not particularly renowned for his three-point attempts, but pretty accurate on that occasion.
Kemp with a comfortable rebound. Johnson. Oh, sweet move from Kevin Johnson. And the USA have started better in this match than in any of their previous matches.
Nice dump off there from the driving player, and Kemp forced a foul. Well, I said that the Russians should be out on court just to have a good time tonight, because really this match, not exactly irrelevant, but they know that their big game should be coming up against Croatia. They've just seen Croatia beat Greece. But to my mind, there are not too many Russians with happy, smiling faces out there at the moment.
Kazurin at the line again. Gets the bonus, so a three-point play. All set up by Bazarevic. This is Reggie Miller. And a simple fake draws another foul.
Oh, Coleman's causing havoc in there. He's playing just about every position from 1 to 5 at some stage. And here he is being fouled over the back.
The gentlest of touches, but FIBA are quite strict on that over the top. Tip away from Sean Kemp.
And I suppose one way to stop Reggie Miller from scoring a three-pointer is to hit his arms. That's exactly what Andrei Fedizov did then. And Fedizov's got a couple of centimetres height advantage over Miller as well. So that's smart thinking from Coach Belov.
Miller. Beautiful little finger roll, giving him that extra distance. This is Bazarevic. Mikhailov. He and Bazarevic, the influential factors at the moment. But that was a little cheeky from Bazarevic.
Offensive foul being called against Kevin Johnson. Just tried to make a spin dribble move and backed his man in too aggressively for the referee. And here's that penetration from Reggie Miller.
Substitution for the USA.
Hesitation dribble, and then just rolls the ball over the front of the rim.
Larry Johnson coming in. Had for him a relatively quiet tournament, but of course Nelson's had so many of the stars to pick from. Bazarevic feeds Kazurin. And they've done well to get back to 4. Suddenly they're finding their shooting form, and Coleman puts in another 3.
Well, whoever's been designated the task of marking Coleman just isn't doing it at the moment. He's wide open wherever he goes on the floor.
Bazarevic with a couple, but the lead 6. And that was Kazurin, a pretty obvious foul. And Coleman with very nearly another rejection.
Yeah, Bazarevic makes this Russian team tick. Had a great European finals last year. Of course, they lost by 1 to Germany in the final, but it was largely Bazarevic who were the brains behind the Russian effort.
Better defense that time from the Russians. Here is Bazarevic. Good pass. That's a stronger move. They get the foul. Vitaly Nosov, number 15, new on, and the foul against Derek Coleman.
That was good ball movement by the Russians then. They had 3 attempts at penetration into the hoop. Thought better of it, dumped it off, and in the end they got their just desserts.
So, our first chance to see Shaq. Had a devastating second half against Puerto Rico, where he ended up top scorer with 27 points.
And Derek Coleman takes a well-earned breather. He's earned his pay packet for this game. Well, you don't often see that at top international level. And Vitaly Nosov well and truly embarrassed by the air ball.
That's what playing against
that second time.
What playing against the dream team can do for you.
Psychological thing there on the foul line.
Foul on Larry Johnson, his first team, 6.
Absolute sellout here. The Sky Dome, 30,000 people in to see this quarterfinal. Kazurin, yes. Three-pointer. And their shooting touch is well and truly back now, and the lead is back to 4 points as we tick down towards the midway point in this half. Some 8 minutes gone.
USA ball. Substitutions for the USA national team, number 5, Mark Price.
Excellent hustle from Kazurin. And Johnson can't believe it. Joe Dumas. And the easiest of baskets as Shaq just turns his man around.
The Americans have taught the rest of the world how to play in the low post. And no better example of low post play than from Shaquille O'Neal.
Dumas, a little bit hopeful there. Here's Bazarevich. And a good tip in. That looked like Panoff.
Bazarevich attempting to use the ring there to protect the shot from any potential blocker, but good following up there for the rebound.
And they're getting the rebounds as well now. Looking good, and there's a good move inside to Vitaly Nosov. That'll make him feel better after the indignity of the free throws.
Yeah, he's a good player, Nosov, and we've seen him on Eurosport already once this year in the club's scene. He won the European Cup winners medal for Olympiakos, or rather Ljubljana from Slovenia. So these Russians, they've got a lot of pedigree, and that man on your screen there, Sergei Belov, one of the most respected coaches in the world.
So the Russians now within 2, and it's looking a cracking game.
Fans, focus your attention on the court. It's time.
Russia putting on the best performance of any of USA's opponents here in the World Basketball Championships 1994. Already 5 turnovers against the USA, and they've got to be careful. We've seen signs of complacency in the past. There haven't been too many signs this time. Dan Marley is new on after that timeout. But all credit to the Russians. They've really picked their game up outside and in. Shaq. Rebound from Nosov. And here's Bazarevich.
And you know, Simon, one of the most unhappy teams to leave a court were Greece. But just imagine the scenario. They assume that they're going to be playing the Americans in the semi-final, but just say, for instance, Russia were to sneak a win here, then the happiest team here in Toronto would definitely be Greece. They would have avoided the USA by default, really.
That's Nosov again with a moment of embarrassment, but very well picked up by Dimitri Domani. And didn't he enjoy it? And they're level.
And that puts them 1 ahead. Well,
so are we going to have one of the greatest upsets in the history of basketball? A long, long time, but the Russians are passing well and executing well, and their percentage is increasing all the time, and the USA beginning to get a little physical here.
Yeah, I don't think Larry Johnson was that impressed with that foul. Got absolutely clobbered. And then wasn't averse to going and laying a Russian out accidentally, but didn't really care where he put himself. The big Charlotte Hornets.
Had back surgery and missed a lot of games, 31 and back to the beginning of last year. Former NBA Rookie of the Year.
So this to restore the lead for the United States.
But the movement is exceptional now from the Russians, and they're finding the man with great alacrity. Here's Panov, Nosov, Damani, who's done well since he's been on, and looking in excellent form. And Sergei Belov must be very happy with the way his team have come back here after a 10-point deficit early on in the half.
Well, we were very impressed with the way Spain took the game to the United States. They only lost by 15, and I would say the Russians playing slightly better than Spain.
Well, that's a good move from Dan Marley. So USA by 1 midway through this first half. Here's Bazarevich. On his own, and that's excellent stuff. Three-pointer from Bazarevich, and it's Russia by 2.
A very well-rehearsed move there between two Russians. Bazarevich used the screen and knew full well he was going for a 3. And that's exactly what he hits.
Nosov, apart from one move, has had a disappointing start here. 3 fouls already. Well, that's a little flash from Bazarevich. No need for that. But I think just trying to show the dream team that there's 1 or 2 moves that they can execute.
No, that's the one thing you don't need when you're ahead against the best team in the world. You don't need to showboat at such an early stage. So a 5-point turnover there from Bazarevich. He gave the ball away, and he had a 3 drilled in against him at the other end.
Mark Price with his first points of the game, the new on number 5 from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here he is, Price, and there's Marley. And gets the foul against Damani.
And if you could just take out the odd unforced error from this Russian team, they could be 6 or 7 points ahead now. The last 2 offensive, they've thrown the ball away, and the Americans have punished them.
Number 10 and 11, and number 4.
Dan Marley, who's beginning to refine his shooting touch after a rather iffy start to the tournament. US Olympic team in 1988. And of course that magnificent record of 192 three-pointers last year for Phoenix, a new NBA record.
And of course Dan Marley will still have memories of that Olympic semi-final when the Russians easily walked through, easily beat the American press, and caused one of the biggest upsets in Olympic history, second only, of course, that's 1972 final.
Nice move. Oh, that really would have been something. A little fake from Mikhailov, and Damani nearly making it. And the Americans would have been impressed by that. Beautiful.
Yeah, Mark Price beaten on the back door.
Mikhailov over Shaq. And a foul, I think, against Marley.
Yeah, Dan Marley just got a hand on the rebounder as he was in the air and then helped him out of bounds. And the referee, good call.
So 1-on-1 in the bonus situation already. To the line, Vasily Karasev. He was part of that European silver medalist team. And a big rebound from Price. But Marley just a little bit casual there. And good defending. Babkov not able to get it up.
And how quickly the Americans were back on that fast break. The Russians thought they had a 3-on-2, and suddenly there were 5 Americans there.
Oh, look at that rebound from Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, again, a 4-point play. The Russians miss a 3-on-2 break, and Shaquille punishes them well and truly at the other end. But a good rebound from the Russians. That's Kisurin.
Picking up Karasev's shot. And Shaq immediately making his presence felt now at an important stage. Price, they didn't look after him. And they had 2 chances.
Russian national team.
Astonishingly quick man is Mark Price from Cleveland.
And the Russians back to where they were only a few moments ago. They've been forced to call a second timeout. And that man, Shaquille O'Neal, he's largely responsible for making the Russians take bad shots inside.
So 7.5 minutes, 8 points, the USA lead. And travel against Kisurin. Alonzo Mourning is new one, number 14 from Charlotte. Member of the World Championship team back in 1990. Here he is. For once, Shaq doesn't get the rebound.
And the Russians are attempting to stick to their normal game. They're a running team. But the problem is every time they get what they think is a fast break, suddenly the whole American team is back there.
Mourning. They give him the shot, and that's why.
Well, you heard the instructions from the American bench there. Go high, low with Shaq. That means Alonzo Mourning in the high post, Shaq in the low post. And on that occasion, Mourning chose to shoot.
Domani. Mikhailov, who's looked very impressive. O'Neal offering him the shot. Does well to cling on. Here's Price. Dumas. Miley. Mourning. Straight away attracts the foul. That one on Karasev.
You've had a criticism of the Russian half-court game. It's that they're just a little bit too confined. They all seem to be passing the ball within that 3-point area, and yet the Americans have spread the floor on their half-court offense. This gives you a little bit more room in which to make a pass.
Here's Mourning, one of 49 foster children. However well the other 48 are doing, he can look after them.
I think we can safely say that Mrs. Threet, the foster parent, is pretty fond of children.
Domani. Bursts through and draws the foul off Dan Miley.
Well, you heard the instruction from the help defense, don't foul him, and Dan Marley did his level best to avoid contact.
Looked to me like he might have succeeded, but there you are. Here's Dominic Wilkins, so you always know that something's about to happen when Wilkins gets on court.
Of course, Wilkins' nickname, the human highlight film.
Here's Domani. First time on the national team. Just 19 years old, and he's looked very good out here. Definitely a big part of the future for Russian basketball. Went to American college, St. Joseph University in Philadelphia.
And of course, coach Sergei Belov has been given a 4-year contract, and his task is to rebuild from the ruins of the old Soviet Empire. He now has to rebuild a new Russian basketball game.
Kisurin looking aggrieved there to be the victim of that decision. This is third personal. 2 more and he's off, and here's Price at the line. Nine points a game. Got 15 against Australia. Had a very good start to the tournament. Kisurin with the rebound, and so quickly up court, but again, as I was saying, how quickly the Americans are back. Bazarevich.
Yeah, a lesson for young kids to watch here. There's not only an offensive fast break, but there's a defensive one as well, and the Americans playing it superbly.
Oh, a travelling call from Kasurin, and Belov didn't fancy that too much.
And again, that man Coleman having a great game. Super defense there.
So moving down towards the last quarter of this first half. Wilkins. Good turn from Bazarevich. What can he do here? Goes alone and gets the bonus. I think the foul was on Morning. He enjoyed that.
A cheeky little grin there from Bazarevich. He faked the man in the air and drew the foul as well. Here we go. Fake to pass. And Joe Dumas just reaches in.
Yes, Dumas it was. And didn't he enjoy it, Bazarevich? Says his goal is to win the Olympic gold medal. Part of the Russian team that was 4th in Barcelona. And he looks quite a player.
The Russians must feel that they have an identity now, actually being called Russia, because remember in those Barcelona Olympics they were the CIS. Whatever that meant.
Morning through. And the lead 6, but they can't get away from Russia. As the clock ticks down now towards the end of the first half. That was better from Nosov. Well, he thinks he was stripped of the ball and that there was some contact on his hand.
Yeah, I think he was looking for, as you say, both things, or one of each. Either possession or a foul, and he got neither. Mind you, he had the confidence to take his man on, go baseline.
Listen, considering the start he's had, that is some confidence. Morning gets nothing but the net. Karasev, and the lead up to 8. Biggest it's been for some time. Bazarevich. Good rebound by Nosov, and he draws the foul on Morning, so I don't know if that was a make-up call, but he did well then, the youngster.
I think you're possibly right there, Simon. And the referee just telling Morning to calm down. I hope he hasn't given shots for that, because it was in a rebound situation. The ball was being taken down. Here we are. Well, 50-50. Morning did actually get contact on the arms, but a 50-50 ball. So it should be 1-1.
Here's Nosov. This is for Ljubljana in the Slovenian league. So Kevin Johnson. That was Coleman just barging his way through, but getting the foul.
Well, we've said it a couple of times in this tournament that if only people could put their high percentage shots away, then the Americans might just be stretched a little bit more. And really, the only close skill in the game, that's a foul shot. That should be deemed to be a high percentage shot, and the Russians not doing particularly well, especially Nosov.
Two formidable coaches you had a look at there. Nelson, of course, who's been part of more games as player, manager, general manager, coach than any other man involved in the NBA. 2,691 games. And, of course, Sergei Belov, who FIBA Monthly recently voted the greatest ever player to come out of Europe. 4 Olympics. So a lot of experience on the sideline.
And, of course, Sergei Belov, a member of the Hall of Fame.
Karasev. Should have made it. Up goes Dominic. Nosov does well to back it away. Fetisov. It's a better move. And tipped in by the Americans there. I think it was Morning got the final touch, but Bazarevich will claim it.
Super fake there from Bazarevich. And just got himself a little bit more space in which to take that shot.
Still the field goal percentage better from the USA, but then they are going more from outside for three-point range. Russia going more inside.
Wilkins foul from behind. A couple of fakes, and both Russians up in the air, and the one behind fouled him.
So Karasov picking up 2 fouls. Here's the move the other end. Bazarevich has the fake, flips it inside. And I think it might have been Karasev, in fact, who got the final touch.
3 minutes to go, and this is a very good performance from the Russians. They only trail by 6, but what they have to be wary of is the surge, the defensive surge that the Americans normally put in at the end of the first half. Remember what they did to China, 12 points in a minute. So the Russians must be satisfied, but they have to be wary at the same time.
Wilkins at the line. 10 times an All-Star, 34 years old now, some 27,000 points in the NBA, 9th in the all-time scoring list. Karasev, the lead 7, inside the last 3 minutes of this first half now. Quite sure what Babcock was trying to do there. He seemed to have a plan and he was going to execute it whatever happened.
Well, I can't quite understand what the referee's called there, because the ball clearly came off the Russian, but he's given them possession back from the sideline. Just about everyone looked around bemused by that call, or non-call.
Barasevich and Shaquille O'Neal with a rejection. Here's Dominic. A sweet move. In the end, Kevin Johnson gets the 2, and the lead up to 9.
The decisive factor in this first half has been the defensive fast break. The Americans have a terrific one, the Russians don't. But Sergei Babkov, a 3 there, will definitely help his team's cause.
Joe Dumas. Shaquille O'Neal. And the percentage from both teams has risen as the half has gone on. But the Russians must be delighted with the way that they've played. This is Nosov. Oh, yes!
Well, Shaquille getting a taste of his own medicine there, really. Nosov bumped him off for the sky hook. And a nice deft touch.
And for a man who's been struggling in this match for the 7-8 minutes he's been on, that really was something.
Kevin Johnson screaming for a touch on the elbow, but nothing called. And again, the Americans back, and a bad miss from the Russians there.
Here's Dumas, all the way, and a good rejection. That was Fetisov. Oh, unlucky. Shaquille O'Neal.
1 minute left in the period.
Into the final minute. Shaq with 8 points in the half. This is Bazarevich. Oh yes, he's got some fancy moves, all right. And in the end, it's Babcock who comes in and gets the foul.
Foul on number 11, Kevin Johnson, his second.
A lot of NBA stars here. Perhaps even a little bit envious of the fact that they're not in there for this Dream Team too.
As the committee, the USA Basketball Committee, decided on a completely new team for these World Championships from the Dream Team 1 in Barcelona, and keeping their cards pretty close to their chest about what will happen in Atlanta. But all sorts of rumours rife. It's likely, I think, to be a team which will include several of these players. Maybe not too many who were in Barcelona. Hakeem Olajuwon is also a name who's hotly tipped. But it'll keep next season very interesting indeed.
So Kevin Johnson just running the clock down, intent on taking the last shot, or rather the US are intent on taking the last shot. There's a slight differential of about 1 second, but Johnson goes to the hoop, the clock ticking down, and a steal and a 3-pointer.
And Don Nelson's expression has rarely changed through the half, in which his team have kept in front and have kept their tenacity going, but I think they've been quite alarmed by the passing and the finishing of this Russian team. Good finish there.
Just an indication of perhaps a little bit of concern on the face of Don Nelson there, asking for a foul even.
So the half-time score then, 52 USA, Russia 44. You'll be back with us in just a moment or two. It's at half-time. Field goal percentage 44 from Russia, just dropping a bit towards the end. USA just a little bit more, but this is quite astonishing statistic. 27 to 22 in rebounds. USA leading. Leading scorers, Derek Coleman with 10. Surprisingly, Reggie Miller only with 5. Here's Coleman with a three-pointer early on. And what a start he made to this match with the block shots and the points. Bazarevich, very much their star. And I think a few NBA scouts will be looking at him and wondering why he isn't over there.
Yeah, the sad fact as far as Bazarevich is concerned, Simon, he's 29 years old now, so perhaps a little bit late in his career to be considering a move to the NBA. He's always been tempted, but with the breakup of the Soviet Union, he's not really had the opportunity until the last year or so.
But you can see quite a character and no doubt about his talent, and the USA will be very well aware of him. The shot there of the skyline in Toronto, and there's the impressive figure of the Sky Dome right in front of us.
And just going back to my points about the breakup of Eastern Europe, Simon, what it's meant to teams like Russia, well, they no longer have the likes of Sabonis, Marciulionis and Alexander Volkov available to them. They're now playing for former satellite nations, and Russia have to rebuild. But then again, you could say the same about the former Yugoslavia. So the new world order has possibly postponed the date when the mighty USA could be severely tested.
Yes, Croatia have survived the breakup of Yugoslavia better than Russia have survived the breakup of the Soviet Union, but they had better talent to deal with.
That's right, and younger talent as well.
Reggie Miller to Kemp. How did he get round there? Well, and over there.
That was a magnificent fake along the baseline from Sean Kemp. All the defenders just turned their backs on him. They thought he'd passed the ball.
Mikhailov. Good hands from Babkov.
Again, the Russian offense is all very, very confined. Not giving themselves any space in which to make a good pass.
Kevin Johnson. And poor hands there. Double dribble.
That fake from Sean Kemp. Look at that. Everybody turned their back on him, and where had he gone? Passed to himself even, I think.
Didn't he enjoy it? One of the great showmen of the NBA. Miller, only with 5 points in the first half. He'll be looking to pick it up. Started with the same starting lineup as they did in the first half. Bazarevich, oh yes, fakes the shot and does well to find Kasurin inside.
Well, Derek Coleman had a dynamite start to the first half, blocking shots galore. But Derek Coleman's just had one of his shots blocked and he's committed a foul. So a completely the opposite start of halves for Derek Coleman.
His third personal, so he's got to be a little careful. Kasurin, who's playing in his 41st game for Russia. Rebound from Kemp. Look how quickly it goes down court to Dumas. Johnson, Kevin Johnson. Dumas. And does well. Very well.
Well, I would say that was a superb use of peripheral vision to for Joe Dumas, but I don't think even he can see through players, but he knew the player was there.
Kisurin, untouched, and takes advantage.
Yeah, different ball game now as far as Derek Coleman is concerned.
Joe Dumas. Well, they get the benefit of a lucky bounce, and they're threatening again. And that's Fedosov, and it's now back to a 5-point ball game early on in this second half. Just 2 minutes gone. Russia still within 5 of the USA, and this is the closest they've been taken by any team. It's Johnson. Miller, who can't find that open shot. Dumas. Gets the foul.
You know, there could be an awful lot of egg on an awful lot of faces were the Russians to win this. And a couple of commentators here included.
That's true enough.
Substitution for the USA national team, number 13, Shaquille.
There's the massive amount of merchandise around here. And the NBA don't miss a trick.
No, David Stern, he likes to see the coppers rolling in.
Here's Dumas. 2 NBA championship rings, of course, for him.
Sergei Belov there, I'd put him in the same class as Eugenie Gamelsky, as a real thinker of the game. Plays chess with human beings.
Bazarevich. You can see the movement, trying to pull the Americans wide. Kisurin. And the foul there on Sean Kemp.
Foul charge against number 7, John Kemp, his 3rd team second.
Good fake.
Yeah, Kemp guilty there of doing a lot of hard work, working very hard, moving his feet, bending his knees, and then reaching in at the crucial moment.
Bazarevich, good ball in. And a good finish too from Mikhailov. And still it's 5. And Shaquille O'Neal on. And immediately makes his presence felt, and he's done it time and time again. Whenever he's needed, he's come up with the goods.
O'Neal sets a pick, rolls to the hoop, and slams it.
Oh no, they shout, but the foul given.
Well, the referees, Mr. Rems from Slovenia and Mr. Ishida from Japan, not overawed by their by these Americans. They're calling a straight game, and you can't ask for any more than that. If they see it, they call it.
So Kemp will not be playing too much more in this particular match. Just 4 personal fouls already. Just 1 more left. And I think he'll be spending some time on the bench.
This goes through my mind, Simon. I wonder if the Americans having difficulty realizing that it's a 5-foul game, not a 6-foul game. They seem to play just as tough a type of defense when they're on 4 fouls as they do when they're on 2. Of course, NBA, they've got 6. Here, it's only 5.
Well, I suppose the way Nelson plays, with such talent on the bench, it's not too critical apart from Shaquille O'Neal here, if any of them sits down, because there's just as good a replacement sitting there.
That's right. That's probably a very important point about Shaquille O'Neal. Were someone to get Shaquille in foul trouble, then that was psychologically very damaging to the Americans. However, that's not happened yet in this tournament.
Foul on number 11, his second team second, Mikhailov.
Foul on Mikhailov. Again, it's Shaquille O'Neal who draws it. And once more, his presence being felt there. Reggie Miller. Well, I think that was deliberate, wasn't it?
Definitely, a rehearsed move. That's the second time we've seen the Americans play that particular offense. Throw it against the backboard. The defense looks around, and the offensive rebound is in there.
And Shaquille O'Neal showing that it means a fair amount to him, these World Championships. And they weren't going to fetch it.
The big man was down so quickly for that loose ball. And I wonder who's going to win this one. Wow. You know something? Shaquille O'Neal hit that on the way up. That should be a Russian ball.
Mind you, you have to wait an awful long time for it to come down.
Yeah, actually, it was a pretty poor throw up by the referee. He didn't throw it high enough.
No.
And he's given a technical foul. The Russians have been awarded a coach technical foul.
Technical foul.
Sergei Belov not particularly impressed with what he's just seen. And to be quite honest, I think he's got a point. That should have been a Russian ball because Shaquille hit it on the way up. I think Belov has just made that point to the referee. And he's got a coach technical against him. That's 2 shots and possession.
Well, it's not what they needed at this particular juncture. So for all his experience, he's not done his team a great deal of help there. They start their basketball very young in these parts.
There's that whistle in the crowd again. Surely the FIBA administrators have got to do something about that.
It's a 10-point game. Oh, O'Neal's been devastating since he's been on. And what looked like a worrying period has been transformed by this giant man from Orlando.
Yeah, I think we've got 2 pretty even teams, except for that man there. He's the difference.
Still only 22 years old. Quite amazing. If he stays healthy and fit, there's no ending to what he might achieve.
Well, he's going to be breaking all the statistics of people like Wilt Chamberlain, Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. He's got so many years ahead of him if he stays healthy.
Good move there from Sergei Bagkov. But it's an 11-point game. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Reggie Miller. Oh, what on earth was that?
Well, Reggie Miller's being forced to go a long, long way out, even further than the NBA distance. And basically that's because of the height of Fetisov, the number 12, who's been assigned the job of defending against Miller. And the Russians did a good job.
Bazalevich. Mikhailov. Over O'Neal, but O'Neal doing enough to put him off. And in it goes again. Johnson to O'Neal. 2 more. And they can't defend him. And they're finding it difficult to attack him as well.
Some very interested spectators here. Croatia. I just wonder what they're thinking about this American team and who they're going to assign the job of marking Shaquille O'Neal. That is, assuming that Croatia gets to that final.
Good time run by Mikhailov. Kevin Johnson. Miller. Oh, does very well indeed there. Ran into Mikhailov, but still got the shot up. No foul.
Well, that was an almighty clatter at the other end when Reggie Miller scored, and if that's not deemed to be contact worth calling, then I don't know what is. Here's that pass from KJ into O'Neal. Of course, what we could be watching, Simon, is a rerun of the final. Croatia have to beat Russia first, assuming that the Russians lose here. Croatia have to beat Russia to get to that final.
Yes, and it looks no formality the way the Russians have played here.
No, remember the Russians beat Croatia last year in the semi-final in Europe by 8. But then again, the Croatians didn't have that man, Toni Kukoc.
So, 6 minutes gone. USA lead by 11. Mark Price. Shaquille. And they don't even bother with it. Once he gets it at that distance, they let him have it.
Well, there's nothing subtle or difficult about these American tactics. Get the ball inside to one man and one man only.
And Price lucky to have a second chance. Dumas. This is a big period for the USA. Sparked off by the introduction of O'Neal. But now the lead, as big as it's been at any stage in the match, 16. And possession again. The run by Babkov.
The Russians forced to force it now, taking bad shots, whereas the Americans are taking good ones.
And that was Reggie Miller. Timeout called by Sergei Babkov. But this has been a tremendous spell at the start of the second half by the USA. They lead by 19. You'll be back with us.
It's time to welcome the world.
Wonderful spell by the USA. That man in picture there, Shaquille O'Neal, acting as the catalyst. In the last 5 minutes, that's more or less since he was introduced. They've scored 22 of the last 30 points, and Sergei Belov's plans, I'm afraid, are in disarray now.
Yeah, I think that caption could possibly have said Shaquille O'Neal something like 17-8 against the Russians, because apart from a three from Joe Dumas and an easy layup, then it's been Shaquille all the way. Got a good rebound there from Fetisov. He's having a good game. Done a good job on defense, taking Reggie Miller out of the game.
There's travel called against Alonzo Mourning. So here's Bazarevich. Nice move again, that lovely little layoff by Mikhailov.
Good timeout by Sergei Belov. He stopped the rots, and the Russians have scored the last 4 points.
O'Neal. And for once, they find an answer to him. And Mikhailov it is again who picks it up.
Perhaps that is the answer to Shaquille, Simon. You've got to get two big men on him, because no single defender is capable of stopping him.
Foul there. Blocking foul on Mark Price.
Foul on number 5, Mark Price, his first team. Substitution for the USA squad, number 9, Dan Harley.
Reggie Miller sitting out. Not been a match that he's remembered. Do that, Roy?
Well, I could do the job of the assistant in that one.
USA ball.
O'Neal. Dumas. Simple but very effective. A three from Joe Dumas. And they're on the run again. Price. Dumas. Same story. And that is a real headache. Those two threes, one after the other, make the lead 21. And now it's way uphill for Russia. Suddenly, it looks very different indeed.
Well, the Americans have the answer for everything. Before the timeout, they were going inside all the time. And after the timeout, it's a three-point shootout.
Price. Not that time. Bazarevich. And Kisurin did well. Shaq, a commanding position there under the hoop. And they didn't really put much pressure on him.
Well, this must be the first time since he was at college that Shaquille O'Neal is allowed just to stand in the paint and not mark a man. No illegal defense, of course. in international basketball, and Shaquille O'Neal really enjoying himself at both ends of the floor.
Good move. Bazarevich to Kisurin, and the game's gone a little flat because everyone getting that feeling that the USA now have gone out of reach and that the result's a formality. It's been such a good Russian effort, but absolutely not contested there. And O'Neal is doing just what he wants.
I think the Russians have now said, okay, well, perhaps we're in a trade basket situation. You score and we'll score. And possibly content just to leave the margin at about 20, knowing full well that their biggest game is yet to come. That's the semi-final against Croatia. A shot there from Bazarevich. This move from Shaquille. Nice little jump stop and powers his way up.
21 points already, and taking a rest. Look at those stats. 10 out of 11 from field goal. And rebounds as well. And that may be the end of Shaquille O'Neal in this match, because it's unlikely he'll be needed again, but he's really won the match for them in that spell early in the second half.
Yeah, I think from a margin of 6, the introduction of Shaquille, and the game was taken out of the grasp of the Russians.
And they may be Dream Team 2, but more than Dream Team 1, they're very much focused on one man.
Yeah, that was certainly not an accusation you could make of Dream Team 1. Like, well, Michael Jordan, he was very much part of the team effort.
But they very much do rely on Shaquille O'Neal to give them that impetus when the danger's on. Fetisov. If anything happened to him, it could be a very interesting time in the semi-final and final. Kisurin. Good move. Alonso Mourning doesn't like it.
Yes, and when you consider that Shaquille O'Neal is regarded by the statisticians here as a bench player, and well, perhaps a little slight to his ability there.
So Kisurin, 18 points already, leading scorer in the match for the Russians. And Alonso with the rebound. Here's Price. Miley. Good move, Coleman. And we've forgotten about the excellent play that Coleman had at the start. Kisurin. Oh dear, after singing his praises, that was poor. Miley, good ball. Price misses, rebound, and what a dunk that was from Alonso Mourning.
And didn't he make space for himself very well as well? Got the rebound and just a little nudge, and the easy finger roll to finish it off. Oh, that would have been a lovely pass, but well read by Dan Marley.
And all the way from the man from Phoenix.
The common expression is coast to coast. And that a replay of the previous move. And Alonso Mourning gets the rebound. Gets himself a little bit of freedom and over the top.
Just under 8 minutes left then. USA leading by 24. For much of it's been their toughest test. They were playing well, but had a team playing right at the top of their powers against them. But they've overcome it thanks to Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, it seems a long time ago now, but it was only 8 points at half-time. And remember, in that first half, the Russians actually went ahead by 2. That's a good shot under pressure from Damani. He's actually at college in the United States at St. Joseph's University, Philadelphia.
And it is trade-off now. Trade-off time, basket for basket.
Good hands there. Dominic Wilkins stepped in on the help defense, but then gave the ball away.
Nossoff. And good move from Panov. And not much fouling going on now. The intensity's dropped. And it's offense all the way. Now that was not the greatest stuff from Pashutin to Damani. He had no chance at all with it. And look at that, the other end from Derek Coleman. And now a real shootout. Damani again.
I was just about to say that the Americans are paying a lot of credit to the Russians by not showboating, and here we have this move from Derek Coleman. That's the best thing he's done in this second half.
No basket. But Matt Ali gets the foul as he makes the burst through.
Foul charge against Sergei Panov in his first. Team fifth.
Right, you get all kinds of merchandise here.
Nossoff with the rebound. New one, Sergei Ivanov, number 13. So, Coach Sergei Belov is running the whole bench.
Here, Mark Price not particularly impressed with that call.
Foul charge against Mark Price.
Yeah, that's a hooking foul. And it's been called a defensive one. A wry smile. And there's Isaiah Thomas. Very unlucky not to be in this team. Snapped his Achilles and may be out. May never play a game of basketball again.
Good work from Price, creating the hustle, but knocked him out into his own half, so it's not adjudged a backcourt foul violation. Now here's Ivanov. Everyone's been on now. Shooting with the two. Well reached Coleman. And anxious to show that it's not just Shaq inside.
And Sean Kemp back on, Coleman back on defense as well. Just deflected the shot, but the Russians get the rebound. So a much better phaser play from Derek Coleman.
Oh, that's really lucky. Wilkins watches it well.
Well, the top of the backboard is legal, so it bounced up. Everybody except the Americans mistimed their jump. And pretty fortunate too there.
Evgeny Pashutin. Good ball inside, and I think it's Price adjudged to a foul.
Yeah, a bit of a mismatch there between Mark Price and Pashutin.
There's the Coleman dunk, and a ferocious one it was as well.
And the table just reminding the officials that the Americans have committed 8 fouls, so the Russians in a penalty now with 1 and 1. And thank heavens we won't be able to say that. We won't have to say that too many more times because of the new rules. Just a reminder, it's 2 shots now instead of 1 and 1, and the team fouls have been committed. I say now it's from September the 1st.
Domani. Oh yes, Ivanov puts it up vertical, but it comes down in the right place.
Using the ring to protect the ball there, expecting Coleman to block it. So good move from an experienced player.
Wilkins, oh my word, he went round about 720 there.
Well, that was a highlight.
Well, the game's really drifted in the last few minutes, but that was a spectacular move from Wilkins. And now the Americans beginning to showboat, and it's time they did. Both teams have accepted the result, and this is now for the fans.
Well, that was that last Dominic Wilkins move. What a shame he didn't see his footwork, because it was spectacular.
So their average margin of victory is 40. The most it's been is 56. Against the Australians, it's going to be nothing like that this time.
And members of the Canadian team here watching as well. Bit of a disappointing tournament as far as they're concerned, but they'll be in the top 8.
Marley to the line. It's amazing, isn't it? The guy who can hit free throws like they're going out of style. Hit three-pointers rather, can't hit a free throw. I think that was Wilkins trying something, and for once the Americans look embarrassed.
Only Wilkins knew where that pass was supposed to go to, because no one else on the court or in the crowd did.
And the foul, Steve Smith knew on. Coach Nelson anxious to give everybody a bit of a run, so Smith brought on at the end here. He and Larry Johnson have played the least of the 12. They're allowed to play all 12 here. Panoff to the line, 24-year-old, third year on the national team.
Well, that is embarrassing. That's the worst foul shot of the entire tournament, I think.
Short, they said. It was minute. Smith to Marley. And here he goes. Not that time. Poor pass from Panoff. There's plenty of time to do what you want if you're Shaq O'Neal.
Well, at least he doesn't bite his fingernails.
Price. Well regained. And Smith. So a lot of attention on the fingernails. More than the game. It's a sweet move from Evgeny Pashutin. And Smith, adjudged to have travelled.
Well, I think technically the referee perfectly correct, but well, in this stage of the game, a little bit over-enthusiastic. And Dominic Wilkins going to the hoop, has his arms taken away.
Charge against number 14, Sergei
Panoff plays in Istanbul in the Turkish League, member of the Olympic team in Barcelona and the European team last year in Munich. Here's Wilkins. Originally, of course, from Georgia. So the Russians keeping their heads up, and they've not let the lead drift out of control. As we saw in the first semi-final, the Greeks really let it go completely. First match today, the quarter-final. They are in effect like semi-finals. They drifted away, and Russia haven't here.
Well, the referee being consistent, he called that as travelling as well. It was. The Americans don't like it one iota.
So into the final couple of minutes now. Coleman doing well, tipped away by Nosov. Some shoulders and arms flicking away there.
Dominic Wilkins says you've got to call the foul, baby, to the referee. And the referee obliges.
Here's Coleman. And he's kept up the momentum started in the second half by Shaquille O'Neal, and they've never been allowed to dominate inside, the Russians. Pashutin. Damani. He's a useful player, Damani.
Very much so. And St. Joseph's University at Philadelphia. That's good scouting, good recruiting.
Good try by Smith, trying to finish off with something really spectacular. Panov and Nosov in a mess. Ivanov draws another foul on Smith. And these newcomers anxious to impress the coach.
Yeah, you can always rely upon Sergei Belov. He'll be thinking about this game. And his big game, as we've said, is against Croatia in the semi-final. And I have no doubt that that'll be a close contest.
And of course, we'll be able to show you that match in its entirety on Eurosport tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11:30, 10:30 if you're watching in the UK. Smith again. And Nosov does just enough. Smith from Miami.
Not had the best of tournaments, Steve Smith. Played very much a bit part. Fouled out in one game, but he's coming off a long-term injury. Didn't play too many games for Miami this season.
So the lead 18 and threatens to be 20 here. Some flashy moves.
A lot of time in the 3-second area there. And the referee eventually calls it.
I don't think anybody wanted to shoot there.
Of course, the 3-second area international basketball, a lot bigger than the NBA 3-second area. A lot wider at the baseline anyway.
Damani with 3 more. And he threatens to take over as the leading scorer here. He's got 17. Kasurin's got 18. Mali looking for the last shot of the match. And it's Wilkins who makes it. So there it is then. A very good first half. But once O'Neal injected himself in the second half, they were really outclassed, the Russians. Shaquille O'Neal, the man of the match. 111-94. O'Neal leading point scorer with 21.
Well, I think both the Croatian coach and obviously Sergei Belov, the Russian coach, will have noted that little run of points from Shaquille O'Neal, and they will include that little statistic in their preparations for what they hope will be the final.
So the semi-final is USA against Greece. You can see that match live 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 midnight if you're watching the UK. For now, goodbye.